Have you ever felt a moment of profound connection with your partner? A feeling so deep it went beyond anything words could articulate? Perhaps it was a glance across the room, a gentle touch that spoke volumes, or a shared silence that felt more intimate than any conversation. In those precious instances, you weren't just communicating with sounds, you were exchanging an intricate dance of unspoken signals. Your bodies, your eyes, your very presence, they were all whispering secrets only your hearts could truly hear. Welcome to Nyle and Moon, where we explore the beautiful, intricate tapestry of intimacy. Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of nonverbal communication, uncovering how these silent messages shape our deepest connections and fuel desire in ways we often overlook. It's about more than just what you say. It's about everything else you communicate without saying a single word. Let's decode those signals together. Imagine a quiet Tuesday evening. The day's hurried pace has softened, leaving behind the gentle hum of the refrigerator and the distant murmur of city life. You and your partner, Alex, are in the kitchen, preparing a simple meal. The scent of garlic and herbs hangs lightly in the air, a warm, comforting aroma. Alex is chopping vegetables, their movements precise and familiar. You're stirring a pot on the stove, the gentle clink of the spoon against ceramic a rhythm in the quiet. There's no grand conversation happening, no declarations of love, just the shared domesticity of the moment. Then something subtle shifts. Alex pauses, not in their chopping, but in the slight tilt of their head, the way their shoulders relax just a fraction. You feel their gaze before you even meet it, a warmth spreading across your skin. When your eyes finally connect, it's not a hurried glance, but a lingering, soft look. There's a question there, an invitation, a shared understanding that ripples between you. A small, almost imperceptible smile plays on Alex's lips, mirrored by your own. Your hand, almost instinctively, reaches out and rests lightly on Alex's arm for just a moment. The skin feels warm, a familiar comfort. That brief touch, that shared glance, that quiet understanding, it speaks volumes. It says, I see you, I feel you, I'm here with you, fully present in this moment. It's a whisper of desire, an acknowledgement of the deep current of affection that runs between you. Unspoken, yet undeniably potent. The air around you seems to thicken, charged with a gentle, magnetic pull. The food continues to cook, the world outside continues its spin, but for that brief, exquisite instant, you are both enveloped in a cocoon of shared, silent intimacy. This is the power of the unspoken. It's the language of connection that often precedes, amplifies, and sustains our most profound experiences of closeness. It's how we truly know we are seen and desired. So, how do we begin to truly understand and harness these nonverbal signals? It all starts with awareness and intention. Our bodies are constantly broadcasting messages, whether we realize it or not. Think about the subtle shifts in posture, the fleeting expressions that cross our faces, the way we position ourselves in relation to another person. These are not random acts. They are deeply ingrained forms of communication, often rooted in our evolutionary history and our early experiences. One of the most powerful aspects of nonverbal communication, especially in the context of intimacy, is touch. Dr. Corey Floyd, a communication researcher at the University of Arizona, has extensively studied the importance of affection and touch in relationships. His work suggests that affectionate touch, even something as simple as holding hands or a comforting arm around the shoulder, can significantly reduce stress hormones like cortisol and increase oxytocin, often called the love hormone or cuddle hormone. This isn't just about physical pleasure. It's about a profound biochemical response that strengthens emotional bonds and fosters a sense of security and belonging. Consider a moment when your partner might be feeling overwhelmed. Words of comfort are certainly helpful, but a gentle, reassuring hand on their back or a soft caress of their cheek can convey a depth of empathy and support that words alone sometimes struggle to capture. It's a direct transmission of care, bypassing the need for verbal processing and speaking directly to the emotional centers of the brain. My client, let's call her Sarah, shared how her husband, Mark, rarely said, "I love you" out loud in their early years. She felt a pang of longing for those words. But then she started paying attention to his actions. Mark would always make sure her coffee was ready in the morning, perfectly brewed just the way she liked it. He'd leave a small, handwritten note by her bedside when he left for work early. And when she was stressed, he'd simply sit beside her, placing his hand on her knee, saying nothing but conveying everything. Sarah eventually realized those touches and thoughtful gestures were his profound declarations of love. They spoke a language she had to learn to interpret, but once she did, their connection deepened immensely. Another crucial element is eye contact. The eyes, as they say, are the windows to the soul. And in intimacy, this couldn't be truer. Prolonged, soft eye contact with your partner can be an incredibly powerful tool for connection and desire. Research by psychologists like Dr. Arthur Aaron, known for his work on interpersonal closeness and love, has shown that mutual gaze can increase feelings of affection and even accelerate feelings of attachment between individuals. When you look deeply into your partner's eyes, you're not just seeing them, you're allowing yourself to be seen. You're inviting vulnerability, creating a shared moment of presence that bypasses the everyday chatter. Think about the feeling of being truly seen by someone. It's a profound sense of validation and acceptance. In the context of intimacy, this kind of eye contact can ignite a spark of recognition, a confirmation that you are both tuned in to the same frequency. It's a silent conversation that says, "I recognize you, I acknowledge your presence, and I am fully here with you right now." It can be incredibly arousing, not in an explicit way, but in the sense of a deep emotional awakening. It's the visual equivalent of a gentle hand tracing your skin, sending shivers of connection through your entire being. Then there's the nuanced language of body posture and proximity. How close do you stand or sit to your partner? How do your bodies orient towards each other? These seemingly small details communicate immense amounts of information about your comfort levels, your desire for closeness, and your overall emotional state. When your partner leans in, even slightly, it's often an invitation, a subtle signal of wanting to bridge the physical space between you. When they mirror your posture, perhaps crossing their legs when you do, or resting their chin on their hand at the same time, it's a sign of rapport, a subconscious alignment that indicates a deeper connection. These mirroring behaviors, studied by researchers like Tanya Chartrand and John Bargh, suggest a natural inclination for individuals who feel connected to subtly imitate each other's nonverbal cues. It's an automatic, unconscious way of showing empathy and affiliation. So, if you notice your partner subtly adjusting their posture to align with yours, or if you find yourself doing the same, understand that it's a beautiful, silent affirmation of your bond. It's a dance of unspoken understanding, a testament to the fact that your bodies are literally moving in sync, reflecting the harmony of your emotional connection. It's a nonverbal yes to continued closeness and shared presence. Consider a couple at a dinner party. They might be across the room from each other, chatting with different groups. But then, one partner subtly shifts their weight, turns their head slightly towards the other, or their gaze just drifts in their direction. It's a silent tether, a constant, gentle pull that says, even amidst others, you are my anchor, my focus. This nonverbal acknowledgement, this subtle orientation, reaffirms their connection in a way that words couldn't. It builds a shared sense of belonging and priority. It's a powerful and often overlooked aspect of maintaining a vibrant, deeply intimate relationship. A constant, gentle reassurance that you are always on each other's minds, always connected, always desired. These unspoken gestures create a rich, sensual tapestry of connection that often goes unnoticed until we intentionally choose to observe it. It's the language of the heart, spoken through the body. Isn't it fascinating how much we communicate without uttering a single sound? How our bodies become storytellers, sharing desires, fears, and affections in a language far older than words. Take a moment now, just a breath, and bring to mind a recent interaction with your beloved. What silent messages did you send? What unspoken cues did you receive? Perhaps a soft smile, a lingering glance, or the comforting weight of a hand. Allow yourself to feel the warmth of those connections. Now, let's turn our attention to another layer of nonverbal intimacy, the subtle dance of facial expressions and vocal nuances. While not strictly silent, these elements add incredible depth and texture to our unspoken conversations. Facial expressions are universal communicators, yet within the unique context of a deeply intimate relationship, they take on personalized meanings, becoming a secret language known only to you and your partner. Dr. Paul Ekman, a pioneering researcher in the study of emotions and facial expressions, identified universal facial expressions for core emotions like joy, sadness, anger, and surprise. But in the intimate sphere, these expressions become incredibly nuanced. A slight widening of the eyes might signal intrigue. A faint blush across the cheeks could hint at a rising desire, or a playful arch of an eyebrow might convey a shared, mischievous understanding. It's not about grand gestures, but about the micro-expressions, the tiny, almost imperceptible shifts that speak volumes to someone who knows you deeply. Think about a moment when your partner looks at you and their eyes crinkle at the corners in a specific way, a way that only they do, a way that instantly communicates warmth, amusement, and a deep affection that feels like coming home. Or perhaps a shared private joke, where a mere glance and a twitch of the lips are enough to send you both into silent, knowing laughter. These are the intimate codes, the shared nonverbal shorthand that builds a unique and unbreakable bond between partners. It's an exclusive club of two, where the entry ticket is genuine connection and attentive observation. My client, David, struggled with expressing his feelings verbally. His partner, Lisa, initially felt frustrated, wondering if he truly cared. But as we explored their dynamic, Lisa began to notice David's subtle expressions. When she shared a success, his eyes would brighten with a specific, almost imperceptible flicker of pride. When she was upset, his brow would furrow with a gentle concern that belied his quiet demeanor. She realized his face was a canvas for his deep emotions, even if his words were sparse. Once she learned to read this intimate language, their connection blossomed. His quiet support, conveyed through his expressions, became more meaningful than any spoken declaration. Beyond facial expressions, consider the nuances of the voice. Even when words are spoken, the way they are spoken carries immense nonverbal weight. The pitch, the tone, the rhythm, the volume, these are all paralinguistic cues that add layers of meaning to our verbal messages. Dr. Albert Mehrabian's work, though often misinterpreted, highlights the significant role of nonverbal cues in conveying emotional meaning. While the exact percentages are debatable, the core idea remains. How we say something is often more impactful than what we say, especially when communicating emotion or desire. Think about the difference between a brisk, hurried, "I love you," and a soft, lingering whisper of the same words, perhaps accompanied by a gentle sigh or a slight catch in the throat. The words are identical, but the emotional resonance is entirely different. One might feel like a polite acknowledgement, the other a deep, heartfelt expression of devotion and yearning. Or imagine your partner calling your name. Is it a sharp, attention-demanding call, or a soft, melodic invitation that curls around your ears and pulls you closer? These vocal inflections are powerful tools for building intimacy. They can soothe, excite, reassure, or invite, all without changing a single word. The cadence of shared breath, the soft exhalation that matches your own during a quiet moment, or the slightly quickened rhythm when desire stirs. These are also subtle vocal and bodily cues that speak volumes. It's about listening not just to the words, but to the music beneath the words. It's about tuning in to the subtle vibrations of your partner's voice, or the playful suggestion. These paralinguistic signals are like the brushstrokes of a painting, adding richness and dimension to the overall masterpiece of your communication. They make words dance and sing, transforming simple phrases into profound expressions of love and passion. Consider how a partner might express their desire. It might not be a direct verbal request. It could be a slightly deeper, huskier tone to their voice when they speak your name, or a soft, sustained sigh as you draw near. These vocalizations are powerful aphrodisiacs, stirring a primal response within us. They communicate an emotional state that is deeply alluring, a vulnerability and openness that invites closeness. Learning to recognize and appreciate these vocal nuances can unlock a whole new dimension of intimate understanding and responsiveness in your relationship. It's about listening with your whole being, not just your ears. It's about appreciating the symphony of sound and silence that constitutes truly profound communication between two people deeply connected. So, we've explored the power of touch, the depth of eye contact, the silent language of posture and proximity, and now the intricate dance of facial expressions and vocal nuances. These are all threads in the rich tapestry of nonverbal intimacy, each one contributing to the overall beauty and strength of your connection. What ties them all together is a fundamental principle: presence. Being fully present with your partner allows you to not just hear their words, but to truly feel their unspoken messages. It's about cultivating a heightened sense of awareness, a gentle openness to the subtle cues that are constantly being exchanged between you. When you combine the tender caress with the lingering gaze, the leaned-in posture with the soft, inviting tone of voice, you create an intoxicating blend of signals that speak to the deepest parts of your partner's soul. These elements don't just exist in isolation, they intertwine and amplify each other, creating a symphony of connection that can be profoundly sensual and deeply moving. It's about creating a safe, receptive environment where these delicate expressions of intimacy can flourish, where your partner feels seen, understood, and truly desired, not just for what they say or do, but for the very essence of their being, communicated through every subtle gesture and glance. This is the essence of decoding unspoken signals. It's a journey of deeper understanding and richer connection. So, how do we actively cultivate this deeper understanding of unspoken signals in our own relationships? It starts with conscious practice and a willingness to truly observe and reflect. Here are some practical steps you can take beginning today. First, practice mindful observation. Choose a specific time, perhaps during dinner or while watching a show together, and make a conscious effort to simply observe your partner without judgment. Notice their posture. Are they leaning towards you or slightly away? Are their shoulders relaxed or a little tense? Pay attention to their eyes. Do they meet yours often or do they dart around? What do their facial expressions tell you in those quiet moments? Not just when they are speaking, but also when they are listening or simply existing beside you. This isn't about interrogation. It's about gentle, curious observation, like an artist studying a masterpiece. My client, Emily, began this practice and was amazed at how much she'd been missing. She noticed her partner, Ben, would subtly clench his jaw when he was stressed, a signal she'd previously overlooked. This small observation allowed her to offer comfort before he even verbalized his distress, deepening their bond significantly. Second, experiment with intentional, nonverbal communication. Once you've started observing, begin to consciously use your own body to send messages. Try initiating a loving touch, not necessarily as a prelude to anything more, but simply as an expression of affection. A hand on their arm during a conversation, a gentle brush of your leg against theirs under the table, a soft squeeze of their hand as you walk. Practice holding eye contact for a few seconds longer than usual when you're connecting. Notice how it feels and how your partner responds. You might even try mirroring their posture subtly to foster rapport. The key here is authenticity. These gestures should come from a place of genuine affection and desire for connection, not as a performance. They are extensions of your inner feelings, made visible. Third, create moments for silent connection. In our busy lives, we often fill every silence with words or distractions. Challenge yourselves to carve out moments of intentional silence together. This could be sitting on the couch without the TV on, simply enjoying each other. It could be a quiet walk hand in hand, or sharing a cup of tea in the morning before the day truly begins. In these quiet spaces, the nonverbal cues become amplified. You'll find yourselves naturally leaning closer, sharing glances, feeling the rhythm of each other's breathing. These are the fertile grounds where unspoken intimacy truly blossoms. My client couple, Robert and Maria, started a ritual of 5 minutes of silent morning coffee together. At first, it felt awkward, but soon, they discovered a profound sense of peace and connection, communicating more through shared sips and soft smiles than they often did in a full conversation. It became a cherished part of their day, building a foundation of unspoken understanding that carried them through the rest of their demanding schedules. Remember, these are not just techniques, they are invitations to a deeper way of being with your partner. They encourage you to slow down, to feel more, and to truly see and acknowledge the beautiful complexity of the person you love. By engaging with these practices, you're not just improving communication, you're enriching the entire sensual and emotional landscape of your relationship, fostering a bond that transcends mere words. It's about opening yourselves up to the subtle yet profound language of the heart, spoken through every fiber of your being. We began today by asking if you've ever felt a moment of profound connection with your partner, a feeling so deep it went beyond anything words could articulate. Now, as we bring our conversation to a close, I hope you feel a renewed sense of appreciation for those very moments. Those glances, those touches, those shared silences, they aren't just incidental. They are the very fabric of intimacy, the threads that weave your lives together in ways that words can only hint at. Decoding unspoken signals isn't about becoming a mind reader. It's about becoming a more attentive, more present, and more emotionally intelligent partner. It's about recognizing that desire, affection, and connection are often communicated in the most subtle of ways, through a delicate interplay of bodily cues, facial expressions, and the very rhythm of your shared existence. When you learn to speak and understand this silent language, you unlock a deeper, richer, and more sensual dimension of your relationship. You move beyond just hearing your partner to truly feeling them, understanding them at a level that transcends verbal expression. It's a beautiful journey of discovery, one that promises to deepen your bond and ignite a more profound sense of passion and understanding. Keep observing, keep connecting, and keep trusting the quiet wisdom of your hearts. This has been Nyle and Moon, exploring the beautiful and intricate world of intimacy. Remember, your journey of connection is unique and ever-evolving. If you found value in today's episode, please share it with a loved one who might also benefit from these insights. You can find more resources and past episodes on our website, nyleandmoon.com. Join us next time as we continue our exploration of love, desire, and profound connection. Until then, Cherish those unspoken moments, for they are the whispers of a truly vibrant love. Thank you for being with us.